and greetings on the 19th of July on a so far cool and lovely morning after a very hot day yesterday, although I think not anything like the temperatures that some of you experienced. Today the church celebrates St. Gregory of Nyssa, and Macrina, his sister. St. Gregory of Nyssa, like his brother Basil and St. Gregory of Nazianzen, were one of the three great Cappadocian fathers. They were philosophers, theologians, monks, and they helped to formulate and determine the doctrine of the Holy Trinity. They were fiercely loyal to the Council of Nicaea and the knowledge that Jesus was both God and man, and promoted orthodoxy, but in a glorious and a spectacular way. St. Gregory, writing on the Song of Songs in the Old Testament, writes this about the soul looking towards God. The soul that looks upwards towards God and conceives that good desire for his eternal beauty constantly experiences an ever new yearning for what lies ahead. We yearn for a closer and a greater presence of God. Another thing he said was that the only truly and worthy thing was to be a friend of God. His sister Macrina took an increasing responsible role in their family as the two brothers, Gregory and Basil, devoted themselves to the way of God. And eventually she formed a community of people that became one of the embryonic female religious communities. And so she is regarded as one of the founders of female monasticism. She, like Gregory, sought to live and to follow God. Today in the Gospel story we have an interesting story. It's the story of Mary coming and wishing to speak to Jesus. Someone said, "Look, your mother and your brothers are standing outside wanting to speak to you." And Jesus looked around and said, "Who is my mother and my brothers?" And pointing to those around him, "These are my mother, my sister, my brothers." I don't take this as being an insult to Mary and his family, but Jesus opening up the concept of relationship. That just as St. Gregory said the greatest thing was to be a friend of God, so for us the greatest thing is to be part of God's family, brothers and sisters with one eternal Father. As we shelter from the heat and have more time for reflection today, we pray for those who have to go out into the heat to serve others, those who have to work in difficult conditions today. And we pray that God will bless us and increase our sense of fellowship within the community of God's people. And may God bless Ukraine and bring her peace.